A month passed in the blink of an eye. Masahiko was walking on the road, and from time to time, members of the Thousand Hands or Uzumaki clan showed respectful eyes to him. This feeling of being trusted is really the first time, Masahiko thought in his heart. In the past month, he has fought with the Huiye clan 7 or 8 times one after another. Because Patriarch Huiye was wary of enchantment, Qianshao and Uzumaki's allied forces had always been at a disadvantage. After all, a Kagaya patriarch needs the 2 elders of the Uzumaki clan to intercept together with many elite Jounin and pinnacle Jounin, so he is always at a disadvantage in terms of high-end combat power. However, Masahiko was able to tightly entangle the second elder Kagaya every time this month, which gave the coalition forces a chance to fight. The remaining forces of the Senju clan and the Kagaya clan have been marking the Uchiha clan, so they cannot send reinforcements. The coalition forces are not in a hurry in the face of disadvantages. One is that the eastern elders of the Qianshao clan will recover in half a month, and the other is that Zhu Jian has grown continuously during this month's war, and is about to break through and become a patriarch-level powerhouse. It doesn't matter which one is good, the situation will definitely be reversed in an instant. Many members of the coalition forces have considerable confidence in this point. However, members of the coalition forces can see this situation, and the Kagaya clan, who have been unable to attack for a long time, are naturally aware of it. In Hui's camp at this time, General Lei Zheng and 2 elders discussed matters with several peak ninjas. Damn it! We've already sent 3 requests for help to Uchiha, haven't they replied yet? It was the second elder Kagaya who spoke. These days, he was stopped by a mere Jounin from Masahiko, and he held back for a long time. My stomach is angry. Report to the second elder, they have been procrastinating, and they may want us to consume the vitality of the opponent. A peak-level renunciation replied. Damn it! The Uchiha clan, sooner or later, Kagaya General Lei said bitterly. Send another letter. At this moment, Great Elder Huiye interrupted the harsh words of the patriarch and said helplessly, Humph. Huiye General Lei snorted coldly, and did not object. The next day, the 4th request letter from the Kagaya clan was sent to Uchiha Tajima, the current patriarch of Uchiha. Uchiha Tajima summoned members of the clan who were above the top of the clan, including Madara and Kwana. Sitting at the main seat in the hall, Uchiha Tajima shook the letter in his hand, and said, This is the 4th request letter from the Kagaya clan, Madara, what do you think? Father Kagaya has already sent 4 letters for help, which shows that their situation is really critical. And now is also a good opportunity to beat the Thousand Hands. I suggest that we dispatch immediately. Madara replied. Oh, does anyone have a different opinion? Uchiha Tajima shook his head slightly and continued to ask. Great Elder Uchiha Shinji stood up slowly and said, Clan Chief, we attacked the Hyuga clan before, and in order to let Kagaya stop Senshao, we paid a mine. How can we ask for help this time without some benefits? Uchiha Tajima still shook his head slightly, and continued, How many benefits can there be? It's great to get the mine back. Don't forget, everyone, only the 3rd Elder Kagaya and a few guards are left in the current clan of the Kagaya clan. Patriarch, you mean? Hearing this, the hall immediately became noisy. That's right, we're not going to fight Senju, we're going to fight Kagaya. Uchiha Tajima said the ultimate goal. Father, will this be disloyal? We and Kagaya are allies after all. Uchiha Madara said. At this time, Madara was still a person who loved his younger brother and had justice in his heart. Faith. Madara, you have to remember that in the Warring States period, only interests were emphasized, not faith, Uchiha Tajima said. Besides, since we were attacked by Hinata last time, our reserve power has lost nearly half. We can't see anything now. In another 10 years, we will be firmly suppressed by Senshao. In order to avoid such a thing from happening, we need more resources. This time is a great opportunity. Mentioning the surprise attack by Hinata last time, Madara thought of his dead younger brothers, closed his eyes in pain, and no longer objected. In fact, it was useless for him to object anymore, because after the patriarch finished speaking, almost everyone in the hall fell into excitement. Since there is no objection, let's all go down and assemble a team, and set off tomorrow to attack Kagaya. Uchiha Tajima saw no objection, smiled with satisfaction, and ordered to the clansmen, but said that the messenger of the Hui clan returned to the Hui camp, and immediately found the patriarch excitedly, and said, Patriarch, good news. I sent the letter this time, and the Uchiha patriarch immediately called the high-level Uchihas to discuss. About half an hour finally, I saw from a distance that many Uchiha clansmen were packing their bags. Damn Uchiha, are you finally willing to fight? Kagaya said with a happy face, pass on the order, let the clansmen have a good rest, and the Uchiha clan will come tomorrow, and I will break through the camp of Senshao and Uzumaki. Kagaya General Lei at this time never dreamed that at the critical moment, the Uchiha reinforcements he was looking forward to stabbed him in the back. Strange, the last battle was already 3 days ago, and the Kagaya clan didn't attack today. Could it be that they gave up? Masahiko asked suspiciously in the camp of the coalition forces. Everyone in the hall also looked suspicious and looked at each other, not knowing why. However, after a while, their doubts were answered. My lords, there are some changes in the Uchiha clan today. An investigative ninja from the Senju clan gave them the answer. After the ninja went down, the hall fell into silence again. 10 minutes later, the elder Dongfang broke the silence and said, although we have prepared for it, the actual joining of the Uchiha clan on the battlefield still puts us under even greater pressure. This time, it will turn into a protracted melee again. I don't know if we will lose how many relatives. Strength is really not enough, Masahiko thought in his heart. Obviously I promised to protect the tribe's elder nephew, but these days, I can only protect myself from Elder Huiye. If I can defeat him, this war will probably end long ago. At the same time, the same thought flashed in Hashirama's mind, but his mood was more complicated than Masahiko's. Madara, are we still going to meet on the battlefield? Have you forgotten our common dream? He thought to himself. Brother, cheer up. Tobuma saw Hashirama's confusion and persuaded him. Don't worry, everyone. The news should have reached my Thousand Hands clan by now. Reinforcements will arrive tomorrow. Everyone, go back and rest. There may be a fierce battle tomorrow. Seeing that everyone was in a bad mood, Elder Dongfang hurriedly comforted them. Farewell, Masahiko responded and walked out. Others also left. At this moment, no one knows how wonderful tomorrow's script will be. The next day, while the two sides were quietly waiting for reinforcements, a piece of news that shocked the entire battlefield came. Hui's iron mine has changed hands. It is not right to say that the owner has changed, it should be said that the property is returned to the original owner. Uchiha launched an attack on the mine without warning, and the Kagaya clan who was in charge there was just an elite jonin, facing Madara who led the team, he had no ability to resist. In just half an hour, the iron mine completely changed hands. When Kagaya received the news, he almost vomited blood with anger, and cursed the Uchiha clan. But at this time, although Kagaya General Lei had a bad premonition, he didn't think too much about it. He was just angry that the Uchiha clan took advantage of the fire and took back the iron mine. Until the evening, Kagaya General Lei did not wait for Uchiha's reinforcements, but he waited for the third elder Kagaya with a broken arm and a dozen or so jounin who looked embarrassed. Before Huiye could ask Lei, the third elder Huiye's crying words made his eyes go black. Patriarch, Kagaya, it's over. The ominous premonition in his heart was confirmed, and Huiye slumped Leiwolai on the chair. Who did it? Huiye Zutari opened the mouth when he saw that the patriarch had no intention of asking. It's Uchiha, Elder Kagaya said. It really is them. I should have been on my guard. I should have gone back to take precautions when the news came that they had seized the iron ore. General Huiye said feebly. It turned out that Uchiha did not stop after taking the iron ore, but went straight to Kagaya's territory, destroyed a large area of Kagaya's stronghold in the territory, and merged their territory into his own territory. Kagaya closed Lei's eyes in pain. He could imagine the Uchiha clan plundering the territory of his Kagaya clan. Send the order, gather immediately, and counterattack the Uchiha. Kagaya General Lei immediately ordered, no longer caring about the coalition forces of the Senju and Uzumaki clan who were fighting. On the side of the coalition forces, there is no news that the Kagaya clan land was captured by the Uchiha clan. However, they received news that their reinforcements were not far away, and it was estimated that they would arrive in a few hours. Seeing that Kagaya wanted to evacuate at this time, how could he agree, and launched an attack on his own initiative. After a month of fighting, the coalition forces have become familiar with the battle strategy, and they each met their opponents. However, just 5 minutes into the battle, Masahiko felt something was wrong. Old man, are you crazy? We trade injuries for lives, why do we have any grudges? Masahiko narrowly dodged a bone blade from the opposite side, and yelled. The other party didn't answer, but there was only one meaning in his eyes, seeing death as home. Damn it, something's wrong, Masahiko cursed inwardly. Not only Masahiko, but other people in the coalition also felt that something was wrong, and Kagaya's side was obviously fighting more desperately. But fortunately, no one in the Kagaya family has the aura of the protagonist. Even if the seeds explode, they will not be able to defeat the coalition forces immediately. Seeing that the situation had turned into a protracted battle again, Kagaya Taketorai, who was entangled in Hashirama and Togema, smiled. The two of Hashirama and Fijian thought that the other party had some kind of conspiracy, so they retreated far away. However, Huiye used a teleportation technique to come to Huiye General Lei's side, forcing back the people who besieged Huiye General Lei. Master Patriarch, this old man is over 50 this year. In this war, he is really a long-lived. If the battle continues to be stalemate, Kagaya, may really exterminate the clan. Patriarch, you bring people back and save those who were killed by Uchiha. Let me intercept the massacred clansmen. Kagaya Taketorai said lightly. Great Elder, you. Huiye was about to dissuade Lei, but he saw that the Great Elder already had the will to die. Huiye closed Lei Wei's eyes slightly, and opened them again immediately, apparently having made up his mind. Everyone, evacuate. Kagaya Torai smiled a little relieved. Bone vein, the art of bone prison. In the eyes of the coalition forces, Elder Hui Ya on the opposite side drifted between the sky and the earth like a rotten wood. The earth shook, and a huge bone prison slowly rose from the ground, enveloping the people of the coalition forces. Kagaya General Lei, who had already left some distance, looked back at the huge bone prison, and said to the remaining clansmen with horrified eyes, Bone pulse bone prison technique, many clansmen can use it. Using the bones in the body create a bone prison and trap the enemy in it, which has a similar effect to the water escape water prison technique. In the Book of Forbidden Techniques in the Family, there is a method to expand the scope of the bone prison. Use the vitality in the body cells to accelerate the growth of bones in the body in a short time to create a larger bone prison. In such a huge bone prison, the great elder may have exhausted all his vitality. Hui Ya General Lei murmured. Everyone, continue to set off, annihilate the Uchiha, regain the clan land, and don't let the great elder sacrifice in vain. Kagaya General Lei immediately adjusted his mood and ordered. In the bone prison at this time, all the coalition forces have tried various methods, but none of them broke the bone prison. The ninja who is good at earth escape tries to break through from the ground, but there is also a layer of bones blocking the way. The wooden escape between the pillars is still a little fragile when it touches the bones, and there is no good way. 10 minutes passed, and everyone had nothing to do, only Tomona escaped using the not-so-proficient Flying Thunder God technique. I wanted to cooperate with the inside and the outside to break the bone prison, but in the end it didn't work. Masahiko suddenly felt a little short of breath. It seems that the air in the bone prison is limited, so we can't wait for reinforcements slowly. Masahiko thought in his heart, unexpectedly, my new ninjutsu will be used in this place. Everyone back off. Masahiko yelled, Feng Dun Spiral Shuriken. Amazing chakra fluctuations came from Masahiko, and the unique ninjutsu belonging to the future protagonist Naruto was revealed for the first time in this Warring States period out. The smoke cleared, and the bone prison that the coalition forces could not break through with all their efforts, opened a two-person wide passage at the place where Masahiko attacked. Second Grandpa, I didn't expect you to have such powerful ninjutsu, Hashirama said to Masahiko with a shocked face. Yeah, I didn't expect it either. Masahiko showed a bitter face. I didn't expect the side effects of this ninjutsu to be greater than I imagined. Masahiko looked very miserable at this time, not to mention the dust all over his body, and his right arm was dripping with blood, hanging weakly on his chest. I'm afraid I won't be able to participate in the future war, Masahiko said. It was only then that Hashirama noticed Masahiko's state, and hurriedly said, It's okay, second grandpa, go and rest, and leave it to us later. Half an hour later, General Hui Ya and Lei led the crowd to the vicinity of the Hui Ya clan's place. From a distance, they saw the fire in the clan's place, and the corpses of the clan members scattered all over the place. Damn Uchiha, I am at odds with you. Kagaya General Lei grieved and spoke bitterly. At the same time, on the coalition side, Kinshao's reinforcements arrived. The Senshao reinforcements were originally heading towards the coalition camp, but they heard the roar of Masahiko's spiral shuriken on the way, so they came directly to this battlefield. The three clan elders from Senshao led the team, and at the same time brought the news that Kagaya was broken into the clan by Uchiha. So that's the case, no wonder Kagaya Torai is so desperate. Second elder Uzumaki said. If we had known this, we shouldn't have stopped them and let Kagaya and Uchiha go shopping, Chima interjected. However, his elder brother Zuma obviously didn't think so. At this time, Hashirama's face was excited, tears filled his eyes, and he was thinking, Madara, you haven't forgotten our agreement, you must have come to help me this time, maybe this is the first time for the reconciliation between Senju and Uchiha step. Hashirama saw that the family elders and Uzumaki elders were all ready to watch from the sidelines, and said decisively, Elders, we have already offended Kagaya to death this time, why not take this opportunity to join forces with Uchiha and defeat Kagaya at once? That's not necessary. In this war, Kagaya has already suffered heavy losses, and the clan land was attacked by Uchiha again. It is estimated that it will not be able to recover within 10 years, Elder Senshao said. Hashirama had nothing to say for a while, but he was unwilling to miss this opportunity to fight side by side with Madara. Masahiko saw Hashirama's thought for a while, and helped him. Oh, I don't know what good things Uchiha can get in Kagaya clan. As soon as these words came out, the elders of Chienshao were all tempted, hesitated for a moment, and the elder of Chienshao said, Forget it, we can't let Uchiha take all the benefits. And we dispatched so many people this time, we can't run away for nothing. Let's go. Everyone, get ready to go. Hashirama showed joy, and thought, Madara, wait for me. The group took a rest and headed towards the Hui clan. After marching for about an hour, they arrived near the Kagaya clan. At this time, there were bursts of roars in the distance, and it could be seen that Kagaya had already fought with Uchiha. The Uchiha clan has only two elders leading the team this time, namely, the first elder Uchiha Shinji and the third elder Uchiha Jan. Of course, Madara and Kwannon are also in the team. At this time, Madara was fighting the second Elder Kagaya inextricably, and Kwannon also had the advantage against the third Elder Kagaya who had a broken arm. However, facing the frenzied General Kagaya, the two Uchiha elders were beaten helplessly. But at this time, Huiye stopped Lei and looked behind him, obviously aware of the arrival of Qian Xiao and Whirlpool. Only then did the two elder Uchihas notice their arrival, and when they saw the luxurious lineup on the opposite side, their faces were ugly. Senshou Mizuma, come here at this time, don't you want to make money for the fishermen? Uchiha Shinji snorted coldly, and said to Senshou Great Elder. While we are fighting with Huiye, you who attacked the allies' lands dare to say such things. Qian Xiao Mizuma replied. Uchiha Shinji was speechless for a while, and it was indeed their fault. Senju, Uchiha, they are all the same raccoon dog. Do you really think that I, Kagaya, is a lamb to be slaughtered? Kagaya General Lei, who had been ignored for a while, said angrily. Dance of Iron Flowers. Dance of Tang's Song. He actually took the initiative to attack the coalition forces. Water Escape Water Shield. Facing General Kagaya's body covered with bone spurs, Senshou Mizuma did not dare to take it hard, and used the special water shield to bounce Kagaya's General Thunder away, and it just bounced towards Uka two elders of the boat tribe. Now, the two elders Uchiha had no choice but to join the battle. As if they had reached a tacit understanding with each other, the three elders of Qian Xiao and the two elders of Uzumaki also joined the team besieging Huiye General Lei. A total of 7 patriarch-level powerhouses besieged, and Hui General Lei also no longer cared about his blood-stained disease, and unrestrictedly stimulated his own bone veins. Suddenly, the 7 couldn't take him down. However, on the other side of the battlefield, Hashirama decisively chose to fight side by side with his good friend Madara, Elder Kagaya, who was besieged by Susan and Mutun at the same time, already had several wounds on his body. Tobima did not help Kwannon, but joined in the annihilation battle against other Kagaya clansmen. With the not-so-proficient Flying Thunder God technique, he was instantly invincible. Masahiko saw that his side had an absolute advantage, so he didn't participate in the battle with his arm injured, but swept aside. Drink! Huiye shouted loudly, broke away from the siege of the 7 people, looked around, and saw the few Huiye clansmen left, with a look of grief and indignation on his face. Huiye's entire clan. The land of fire has no place for our clan to stand. All members evacuate eastward, cross the ocean, and go to the land of water to recover. Second Elder. After I die, you will be the patriarch, lead the tribe to cultivate and live, and if you have the opportunity, avenge our dead tribe. Patriarch, if you lead the team to retreat, I can also use the bone prison technique. Second Elder Huiye replied. No, I overused the bone vein this time, the blood-stained disease has penetrated into the bone marrow, and my life is not long. Leave me alone, and quickly lead the people to evacuate, we can't lose any more people. Huiye refused. Senju, Uchiha. Forbidden Art Ossification Art. Kagaya General Lei shouted, launching another forbidden art of Kagaya clan. I saw that Kagaya covered Lei's whole body except for the eyes in a layer of white bone armor, and his speed and strength were significantly improved. Facing the ninjutsu of the 7 patriarch-level powerhouses, he did not dodge. Meet. Obviously, the defensive power has also been greatly improved. Facing this unbreakable bone armor, the 7 of them were helpless for a while, and were beaten and retreated steadily. Seeing this, Hashirama and Madara stopped blocking Elder Kagaya who wanted to escape, and came to help. You two juniors, you are still far behind. General Kagaya shouted coldly, and actually pierced Madara's Susanna with a bone spur. I'm afraid Madara was seriously injured all at once. In the Warring States period, there are 4 people who are recognized as the strongest. They are Senju Budarum, Uchiha Tajima, Kagaya General Lei, and Hyaga Patriarch Hinata Tenshin. As for which of the 4 is stronger and weaker, everyone has their own opinions. No, Kagaya General Lei in this state is probably the strongest. Masahiko, who was watching the battle from a distance, murmured in his heart, this should be the strongest power before the 2 gods. I don't know when will I have such power, even if I face the bugs in the 4th battle in the future, I won't be killed in seconds. The battle lasted for half an hour, and ended with Kagaya General Lei's bloody attack. Masahiko entered the battlefield 4 times, saving the 2 elders of the Uzumaki clan and the duo of Hashirama and Madara respectively. The other 5 people were also injured, and their chakra was almost exhausted. But in the end, Huiye and Lei Shengsheng were dragged to death. The battlefield on the other side has long since ended, with the 3rd Elder Hui dying in battle, and the 2nd Elder Hui fleeing into the sea with a minority of people. Masahiko rescued the 4 people and gained everyone's gratitude, but his heart was very bitter. His injured right arm was injured more and more. Maybe he would change his name to Whirlpool Yangguo. However, a line of familiar Chinese characters made him happy again, participate in and witness a major event in Naruto World Kagaya Extermination, 1/2, get 50 witness points. The first appearance of Heiju. Kagaya Clan Extermination, 1/2. It can still be like this, Masahiko thought in his heart. That's right, most of the clansmen who Kagaya awakened the corpse bone vein this time used the corpse bone vein too much, and they probably died soon. Furthermore, frost bone grass does not grow in the humid environment of the land of water. Thinking about it this way, Kagaya, the great clan of the Warring States period, has already wiped out his clan in this war. As for the Kagaya family who fled to the country of water, they are already another family. However, one half. It seems that in the future Kagaya rebellion, I have to go to the country of water. There must be some witness points to harvest. The 50 points I got this time have to be allocated properly. Judging by the growth rate of Hashirama and Madara, the era of the twin gods is not far away. Masahiko was thinking wildly in his mind, but with his perception ability, he found that there was something wrong around the battlefield. Who? Masahiko turned to that side and shouted. Senshou and the 5 elders of Uchiha, who had just breathed a sigh of relief, immediately became nervous again, patrolling around with kunao in their hands. But after 5 minutes, everyone didn't realize that there were still enemies. Masahiko showed embarrassment and said in his mouth, sorry, maybe I got it wrong. The 2 elders of the Uzumaki clan were even more embarrassed. Fortunately, they thought that Masahiko had suddenly become reliable, but they didn't expect it to be so unreliable. My perception shouldn't be wrong. Then, is it Heiju? Although Masahiko apologized in his mouth, he thought so in his heart. Masahiko, who is familiar with the plot, knows that Heiju is the biggest behind-the-scenes manipulator in the Naruto world, plotting for thousands of years, just to resurrect his mother Kagaya at Satsuki. Masahiko would not naively think that Heiju would only be active in the plot era. Over the years, Masahiko has been paying attention to Heiju's figure. When he was young, Masahiko discovered something unreasonable, the existence of an underground black market. According to the experience of the elders in the family, he knew that the black market existed when these elders were teenagers, and no one knows who the founder and manager of the black market are until today. So Masahiko boldly guessed that the black market might have been created by Heiju, who collected information to revive his mother. In addition, in the past few years, some things that have happened in the Warring States period are also very unreasonable. Kagaya easily successfully attacked the 4th training ground of the Uchiha clan. The Kagaya clan suddenly found the frostbone grass near the Uzumaki clan. Kagaya sent Lei himself, but was discovered by the Uzumaki clan's ordinary scouting ninja. As expected, are you playing tricks behind the scenes, Heizei? It wasn't until just now, when Masahiko sensed the suspected presence of Heizei around the battlefield, that Masahiko was able to confirm that all the incongruity over the years came from Heizei. It's time to learn the sealing technique in the clan. Thinking of the endless reincarnation of the dirt, the 9-tailed beasts, and even the revived Atsuki Kagaya, Masahiko made up his mind to learn the sealing technique in the clan. At this time, somewhere in the dark underground, a shadow is lurking here. Such a keen perception, I was almost discovered. Heiying thought in his heart, so what if I discovered it? No one knows my great purpose, and no one knows who I am. This black shadow is exactly Heiju, and he would never have thought that not only was he discovered by Masahiko, but he was also guessed about his movements over the years. Thinking of Kagaya at Satsuki, Heiju became more and more emotional. Mother, wait for me, I will definitely resurrect you. The 2 damned traitors, Hagoromo and Yamura, I will also punish you. The descendants of Yamura, Hinata and Kagaya, have been played in my hands. Hagoromo the descendants of Senju and Uchiha, sooner or later. There is also the Uzumaki family. It is better not to have this dangerous sealing technique. Deep underground, it gradually fell into silence again. In the direction of the battlefield, the Senju Uzumaki Uchiha clan has completed the arrangement of the materials of the Kagaya clan. As Masahiko expected, facing the piles of supplies, encountered a contradiction in distribution. The first thing to reach an agreement was that the Uzumaki clan was divided into 20%. Facing this distribution, the 2 elders of the Uzumaki clan did not express their opinions. The family is the weakest and contributes the least, so it is already very satisfying to get 20%. Afterwards, the Uchiha clan insisted on splitting the remaining supplies, but the Senshou elders believed that they had contributed more and would take away 60%. At this time, Uchiha Madara, who had recovered from his injuries, snorted coldly, and said to Hashirama, we take half of it, do you have any objections? If you don't accept it, let's fight. Masahiko covered his face, obviously asking for help from Hashirama, but what is going on with your long Aotean attitude, Madara? Sure enough, in the face of Madara's rudeness, Tomona almost wanted to rush forward and desperately, but was stopped by Hashirama at a critical moment. Faced with the choice of friends and family, Zujian decisively abandoned the family, and said to Senju Mizuma Elder, let's distribute it evenly. The loss of the Uchiha family is not small, and our clan is already very tired from fighting for months. It is not appropriate to fight Uchiha again. Faced with a fake young patriarch, Chienchao Shuijian was very desperate. In the end, facing Hashirama's insistence, Senju and Uchiha divided the remaining 80% of the supplies equally, and then packed up and returned to the clan. The Uzumaki clan's team also walked on the road of the Hui clan, bringing 20% of the supplies of the Huiye clan, and they returned with a full load. In fact, the Uzumaki clansmen in the team were very heavy-hearted, and their team had shrunk by almost half compared to before they came. Masahiko had noticed before setting off that there were more than a dozen elite jounin who accompanied the team on this expedition. These people are the backbone of the clan, and now there are only 8 left. Fortunately, the 2 peak ninjas and the 2 elders are all right, otherwise the loss of one Uzumaki clan would be a bit traumatic. As for Genin and Shinin, Masahiko couldn't figure out how much he had lost. In short, our Uzumaki clan has suffered a heavy loss this time. It is estimated that the patriarch and elders will not agree to help the Senshou clan fight against Uchiha in a few years. This is also good, I can also calm down and study the sealing technique, Masahiko thought. It wasn't until it was completely dark that Masahiko and his party returned to the clan. The patriarch and the elder of the whirlpool greeted them at the gate of the clan. The patriarch did not ask them urgently about the details of the war. Instead, he and the elder arranged for the remaining clansmen to prepare a sumptuous dinner for them. The returned materials were placed in the warehouse. Masahiko simply ate a few mouthfuls of dinner, and did not continue to listen to the patriarch's encouragement and rewards to the clansmen who had returned in triumph. His arm injury also needed to be dealt with. Gently greeted the first elder, Masahiko returned to his den, bound his right arm hastily, then plunged into the bed, and soon fell asleep. He was a little tired after fighting in January. Addicted to the sealing technique and unable to extricate himself. The next day, Masahiko attended the funeral for the sacrificed clansmen, saw the newly added tombstones in the Uzumaki family cemetery, and saw many clansmen who had lost their loved ones cry bitterly. Although it's not the first time, I really don't want to participate in this kind of funeral, Masahiko murmured in his heart. After the funeral was over, Masahiko went directly to the patriarch and asked him for the clan's secret sealing technique. All the sealing techniques of my Uzumaki clan are recorded on this scroll, second uncle, you must keep it safe. The patriarch seemed to have been prepared, took out a scroll from his arms, and handed it to Masahiko. It turned out that the second elder had already reported the battle to him early this morning, and the patriarch already knew that his second uncle's strength had improved, and he was almost at the level of the patriarch. It is estimated that Masahiko would start learning the sealing technique. Masahiko finished the scroll and said, I will keep it safe. Don't you worry about your second uncle, it's because of you that I'm worried. The patriarch thought, but he said, don't worry, I just remind you. Seeing his insincere appearance, Masahiko ignored him and went back to his home with the scroll. Then, before learning the sealing technique, I have to fix the injury on my right hand, otherwise I'm afraid I'll really have to change my name to Uzumaki Yanguo. Masahiko looked at the scroll in his hand and murmured. Given the extent of Masahiko's arm injury, normally speaking, he would have to recover for at least 3 or 4 months. After all, Masahiko's physique is not as good as when Naruto used the spiral shuriken horizontally, and he doesn't have a medical ninja like Sakura to help him heal. However, the physique is not enough, let's add some points. Masahiko muttered, removed the bandage on his right arm, opened the attribute panel decisively, and added 10 points to body in a row. Sure enough, along with the unbearable itching pain, a new layer of skin grew on Masahiko's right arm. He shook his right arm, still feeling some pain, so he decisively added another 5 points. This time, his right arm was fully recovered. The recovery is so fast, let's bandage it first, and take it off after 2 months. Masahiko thought in his heart, otherwise it's hard to explain. After bandaging his right arm again, Masahiko opened the scroll of sealing technique. 4-element seal, 5-element seal, gossip seal, evil sealing seal, fire sealing seal, inside 4-element seal. Masahiko browsed through all the sealing techniques first. Is there no ghoul to seal it? The patriarch's nephew should not hide anything from me. In other words, this ninjutsu has not been developed yet. I don't know who created it. It should be worth a lot of witness points. It was Minakaze Minato who used this ninjutsu for the first time, and Minato's sealing techniques were all taught by Kushina. In other words, it was Kushina's elders who developed this ninjutsu. In this day and age, is Kushina's grandma or grandpa? How can I find it? Forget it, don't think about it, let's keep an eye on Tokaima, he has developed a lot of forbidden techniques. Masahiko thought of a lot, and finally settled down. Come, start learning the sealing technique. Masahiko's sealing skill talent is good. In just one day, the sealing technique has been introduced. The reason is that in Masahiko's attribute column, there is an item, sealing technique, LV1, 1/10,000. Masahiko resisted the urge to add points immediately, and decided to learn by himself first. About 2 months later, Masahiko learned 2 relatively simple sealing techniques, the seal of fire and the seal of evil, and the sealing technique also reached the 2nd level. Afterwards, in order to learn the seal of the 5 elements, Masahiko had to add a little to his thunder attribute and water attribute. It is probably because Masahiko has not taken the initiative to learn other ninjutsu since he had the witness point for a while, and he became addicted to the sealing technique after studying this one, forgetting the existence of the witness point. In a blink of an eye, 5 years have passed. In the past 5 years, Masahiko has learned all the sealing techniques of the Uzumaki clan except the yin seal, and his sealing technique has surpassed the best wind ninjutsu, reached LV5. Only then did he suddenly wake up. 5 years had passed. For people in the Warring States period whose average life expectancy was less than 40 years old, 5 years is a long time. However, for Masahiko, 5 years later, he is 31 years old. Although until now, he still maintains the transformation technique, and has always looked like 48 years old. In the past 5 years, Masahiko has been isolated from the world, and has not cared about the big and small things in the ninja world. Now that the training was over, he immediately found the patriarch and asked about the current situation of the ninja world. "Second uncle, you're finally out of customs. Your body is still strong." Unexpectedly, the patriarch would say this the first thing he saw Masahiko. Masahiko glared at him. "I'm in good health, I'll be fine if you fail." Second uncle, forgive me. That's it. Last year, the Great Elder resigned to me as the Great Elder of the Whirlpool clan, saying that his health had been deteriorating, and now he was recuperating at home every day. And recently, I saw that the Second Elder, he and the Third Elder also have the intention to retire, but the position of the Great Elder of our clan has always been vacant, so the other 2 elders also persevered. Of course, not only my clan, but also the older generation of ninjas from other clans have basically retired. Now it is the world of young people. After all, I am almost 40 years old, and the seniors who are a generation older than me are already old. The patriarch slowly explained the reason to Masahiko. If there is no system, I am 53 years old, and I am probably going downhill. Masahiko thought in his heart, but said in his mouth, "Don't worry, second uncle, I can persist for a few more years." Has any major event happened in the ninja world in the past few years? If you want to talk about major events, apart from the melee of various clans, a major event really happened. 2 years ago, Senju and the Uchiha clan fought in the Kazuma and Valley battlefields. Senju Buddha and Uchiha Tajima both died in the battle. Now Hashirama and Uchiha Madara are the patriarchs of the 2 big clans. All the tribes in the Warring States thought that the loss of the 2 top ninja powerhouses would give them an opportunity, but they didn't expect that Hashirama and Uchiha Madara broke through the patriarch level one after another, and when they fought, they were as good as their fathers. This is the heritage of the great clan. Every generation has this kind of genius ninja. However, in this way, we will become closer to the Senju clan, and Mito's marriage to Hashirama will not be regarded as a grievance. The patriarch gritted his teeth angrily when he mentioned this. Obviously, even after 5 years, Mito's marriage would not be considered wronged. His father was still a little sad. Did so many things happen? Hashirama and Madara have already stood at the peak of the Warring States period. I'm afraid no one would have thought that Hashirama and Madara would be even stronger. A new era is coming, Masahiko thought in his heart. However, in the past 5 years, I haven't stood still when I regained my youth. Masahiko looked at his attribute bar and smiled with satisfaction. Name: Uzumaki Masahiko. Age: 31 years old. Ninja: 245 plus, body 118 plus, jutsu 1570 plus 5.5 plus, 3 body technique LV10 100,000 full level, shuriken throwing technique LV10 100,000 full level, earth attribute LV3 30458/100000 plus, wind attribute LV4 116764/200000 plus, fire attribute LV3 29985/100000 plus, water properties LV2 10,000/20,000 plus, thunder attribute LV2 10,000/20,000 plus, sealing technique LV5 200000/400000 plus, special talent perception comprehensive evaluation. Peak ninja witness points 34.